from Shams Charania. Kyrie Irving is opting in to his $37 million player option. Shams saying Irving is bypassing on multiple opt-in and trade scenarios to fulfill his 4-year commitment to the Nets and Kevin Durant. Irving telling Shams, quote, "Normal people keep the world going, but those who dare to be different lead us into tomorrow. I've made my decision to opt in. See you in the fall." My goodness, let's play a game of buy or sell, shall we? Or we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're going to react. I thought we were going to buy on the genuine nature of Kyrie's clearly texted, copied, and pasted message to Shams Charania. We welcome in our Red Sox insider, John Tomase, who has plenty of Kyrie thoughts, as well as Dan Shaughnessy. Tomase, so he's opted in. This tells me that after going and trying to find a sign and trade elsewhere in the NBA, he found out that, in fact, nobody wants him. Nobody wants to pay him and give up some sort of capital to acquire him. And so he's just as disliked around the league as he is, say, in the Boston area.
Yeah, I mean, Phil, to me, this is whatever the opposite is of you can't fire me, I quit. That's what this is. It's like, you can't trade me because I want to stay. No, you don't. You want it out. The situation's a mess. You're not happy anywhere. But guess what? Nobody wants you. You can only be Kyrie Irving for so long before the rest of the NBA catches on that you are not worth the trouble. The Nets earlier today, we had reports coming out of Woj saying that they were ready to move on without both guys and just blow it up and start over. So this is a franchise held hostage by one player and the player held hostage by his own insanity. And here we are. Welcome to the Brooklyn Nets show. Next year, it's going to be worth the price of admission.
Yeah, and I guess, Dan, Adrian Wojnarowski from ESPN has tweeted in the last few minutes that the Nets, in fact, and Kyrie could not find a sign-and-trade deal that satisfied all parties. Not surprising.
I want to see a closed caption translation of that quote that you guys put up there a little bit ago. Whatever that bag of words was that you spilled out onto the table there. But, yeah, I think that John's right. You know, it was the Lakers. You wanted to get the band back together with LeBron. And even the Lakers have their limit. They had the Old Timers tour last year. That didn't work out. So I think that no more trouble for them. LeBron looked like for Kyrie maybe a good fit, somebody he played with, won a championship with. That didn't happen. I think John's right. I think it's like, okay, you're stuck with me. And how this plays out, I can't wait to read the New York Post tomorrow because this is going to be fascinating now. You've got Durant, who I still think they may have to take a chance on winning with these two guys. They were never together this year. I mean, until the playoffs, and then it was kind of too late, and they didn't have any bench or the coach isn't very good. But I think that their only recourse now is to try and fix this and play with them and see how they can do next year.
Yeah, it's just, technically, right? Technically, the Nets could still trade him. He's opted in, he's under contract, but nobody's going to take him at that contract, $37 million. And, John, when you look at just Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, the Nets being willing to part with both of those guys as opposed to bringing one of them back. So now they have both back. But that report comes out from ESPN earlier today that it was such a miserable experience that they were happy to try to get what they could for both. I don't think that did anything probably for Kyrie Irving's trade value. The rest of the league probably sat back and said, well, why are we supposed to take on your garbage and give you something back in return? The question now is, can they actually win? If these guys do play together, Dan mentioned they didn't get a lot of that last year. If they do, how formidable are they in the East?
Not at all. Not formidable at all. I'm sorry. I mean, we've seen this. This is how this story plays out. Even when they have an okay season 2 years ago and they take the Bucks, deep into the playoffs, Kyrie gets hurt. And so he's not even available at the end of that series. That cost them as much as Kevin Durant's toe being on the line. It will always be something with a Kyrie Irving-led team. There will always be drama that is unrelated to basketball, and that makes him unreliable at basketball. And so I don't care if they start 22-1. By the end of the year, it will have blown up because that's what Kyrie does.
Yeah, Dan, I think this actually in a roundabout way might be a good thing for the Celtics, even for people like me who have said who said they should at least be open to a Kevin Durant deal. But now, if he's not going to be dealt, which is what it looks like, right? If Kyrie stays, they're still good buddies. I don't think Kevin Durant's going to be demanding a trade out of Brooklyn. At least he doesn't end up, Durant, in Miami or end up elsewhere where he could potentially hurt the Celtics.
True, but some of us think, could they still get Kelly Olynyk and Tom Brady to go talk to him, see if he can broker a deal to come here, have them, go to the
You got a place in the Hamptons.
Go to the
they
Hamptons.
could
and
rent out.
make all this right. You know,
Right.
we were so close all those years ago. No, I think they're stuck with him.
Tomase, what do you think this means for the Celtics? This is just going to mean tweaks moving forward, right? No massive splashy move for them this offseason.
I think the biggest thing it means is that Jaylen Brown can maybe rest easy and not have to hear his name thrown into ridiculous rumors, you know, that really just sort of came up out of thin air. Like, you know, Scal was making a point of if he becomes available, but there was nothing there to suggest that this was in the offing, but Brown has had to hear about it. Now he doesn't have to hear about it anymore. So I think that's important from the standpoint of you have your young core. Let's just keep him happy, keep moving forward.